3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Maybe it's hello again from the track and field recap, but hello to all of our listeners. Welcome to the IATC Exchange Zone podcast. We'll just call it the Exchange Zone now because we are a podcast, but it's more of a video stream look now. And welcome to the 2025 season. And you are in for a treat, hopefully, this year. We're very excited about this new space. If you weren't on the first part here, the IATC is leasing an office space in West Des Moines, more so for our storage of all the apparel for our hosted meets. And then we were lucky to get a little piece of the pie and get a room here, a suite inside the office. And we've converted that to a podcast studio. And we can't wait to spend the next 12 weeks on Sunday nights with you and spreading the good word of the sport of cross country. Joined again now for our 6th year together, Kyle Wagner. We're aging fast, but
good thing you remember the years because I couldn't tell you.
Welcome back to the Exchange Zone.
Thank you for having me once again. This is just, I enjoy it every year. You know, I just did that podcast with Lance and the Des Moines Register, and, you know, it's not like it's extra work, but it's fun work. You know, it's a hobby you get to enjoy doing. So, man, it's good to be back.
It sure is. And it seems like the year went by so fast that we weren't long ago doing the preseason way too early rankings from the basement in early November. We're back at it again, and this is shaping up to being another historical season for both boys and girls. We've got a lot of storylines that we're going to cover tonight. We're going to be also joined by our first in-studio guest of our new journey here, and that is Coach Pat Hennis of the Johnston Dragons. 6 state titles under the direction of Coach Hennis, and they're going for another one this year, and they're right in the mix there in 4A, if not the favorite going into the season. We'll talk to him here momentarily on what should be a great interview, and I'm excited to have our first person sit in the black chair.
That's right.
But let's start here with this podcast, and let's look at our schedule for the year. Kyle, you've got a busy fall. More than just coaching. First off, I don't know how you do this while coaching, but you do, and we're very thankful for that. But you've got some other exciting news in your family,
yeah,
which might throw a little bit of a curveball into the podcast this year, but should be a good season. There's our episode schedule.
Yeah, Ben's right. Very stressful time, not good planning on our part, but we're expecting a kid later this cross country season. So we're in 3rd trimester. So if you see my checking my phone a lot, I feel like I'm always a little more anxious each day. You know, you're already a dad, so not ready for it. I think I'm ready, but I know I'm not. So with that, we're gonna need some help for sure. If I do need to be gone for episodes or help with research, so if you got people in mind that can come in and help out, especially those emails that you send to Dewey and I, those are huge. Because even the research part might lack a little bit on my side. So happy, excited. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Not the timing part, but we're kind of ready.
Yeah. Well, I came from a 4-year-old birthday bash, back to school bash party at spare time before this. So you'll enjoy that too someday.
Can't wait.
Next up, this podcast, we're so thankful to the audience and how you've helped us grow this. 8 years ago, we started this in the basement of Ames High School with just an audio format. Tim O'Neill and myself and the founder of the IATC, Bill Bergen, was our first guest, the late Bill Bergen. And to see where this thing has gone is remarkable. And we thank you so much, our audience. We want to be that one night a week in on Sunday nights that you can tune into us and follow along with what's going on in cross country. And I think we started that last year with this video, and we're looking to really grow it on social media this year. And we brought in Brock Bierman, who's our producer. And one of the big advances this season that you're going to see is a social media presence. You're going to see some short clips from these episodes on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. I'm told that's where all the kids hang out, is those 3 platforms. So Brock is our youthful person, and he's going to help usher us into that new era of social media. So that's exciting. But with that, in order to do that, we need you to subscribe to us and to follow us on all of our platforms. We are on X, we're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And once you do subscribe or follow, we'd appreciate a like and share. Sharing's the big one. If we can clip some of this stuff up and get it spreading through the share button on social media, that'll help us grow, and that's our goal. Next up, the IATC. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without their financial support and their belief in what we're doing. And this is my last year as the president, but I started this before I was even in the IATC 8 years ago as in a leadership position. They've been so wonderful. The board of directors, leadership personnel, Abby Schmitz, Tom Trigstad, our board, Greg Thompson, Mike Parker, Emmy Williams of Solon, Peggy McGuire is our treasurer secretary. I want to thank all of them for their support. And take a look at this website. This has been the big project for the last year, and it is the IATC official home, and it's iatrackcoaches.org. And I'm sure you've been there. The rankings were posted last week when we get 40 to 60,000 clicks on rankings. But this is your stop shop for everything, and we're really excited about the future of this website, the power that it will give us moving forward. This has been literally a 14 to 16-month project, and we're really fortunate to have it. And if you have a mobile phone, the number one goal for us was to make this mobile friendly. So this should all sync up to your phone and fit it the right way. So look forward to the iatrackcoaches.org website. It's time for our poll question.
All
And
right.
Kyle, take it away. This is your poll question.
It is
'cause
my poll
You're
question.
just interested about this.
I am. 8 o'clock's getting close to my bedtime, but
Tweet.
Ben's
Hold
going
on
to
a
tweet this out. But we want to hear from you. The viewers are the most important part of the episode, and you guys are the reason that we do this. And so we would like to know what time should we do our podcast every Sunday night? Should we start at 7, 7:30, or 8? I like the 7 or 7:30. I got a little commute before and after.
It's a less
So
commute this year, though.
yeah, a little
We're
closer.
going out to Waukee.
But we'd love to hear from you guys. So Ben is going to tweet that out here shortly so you can vote. And then we will publish the results probably early this week when we launch what time we're going to go next Sunday. So stay tuned for that as Ben gets that out on Twitter.
Okay, so
Or X, sorry.
here's another thing to add. New feature this year, could be good or bad. With Brock and some of the new software we're using this year, you can comment. Hey Brock, do they comment in the chat on YouTube? Anywhere, and it will show up on the screen. Well, but Brock will obviously screen it first. So if you would like to, throughout the season, comment in an appropriate manner.
Yes.
We would appreciate that. It's a really cool interactive feature. We can see it in real time as it comes up, and that'll be a cool feature going forward. So the tweet is out.
Lots of sevens in the chat.
Oh no. When am I going to eat dinner? All right. So thank you for voting for that. We got sevens in the chat. Did we have any of them come up on the screen? We wanted to, there we go. Madison Holton, 7 o'clock. Jack Reich, there we go. 7. I like it. There's Quentin. Thanks, Quentin, for joining us tonight, and everyone else that is watching. And we're live streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube. All right, next up, and we got a couple more announcements. We'll bring Coach in right after this. The Monday Move, the new branded weekly rankings. In my opinion, a great move by the IATC to go to releasing all of the rankings on Monday, team and individual. This wasn't my idea. Darren Svensson, who's been a guest on our show out of the Decorah area,
Yep.
a news reporter, I think kind of collaborated with other reporters and sent a very wonderful email and proposed this idea for multiple reasons. Media is one of them. But Monday is the day for cross country we're trying to make in the state of Iowa. So the big announcements are Monday. Tuesday's a heavy volleyball day. Obviously, Friday's a heavy football day. Saturday's college football. Sunday's pro football. Not a lot on Monday. So let's see if we can make cross country the day on Monday throughout the state for big announcements and rankings in particular. So that'll be exciting. And this last slide is our ranking schedule. And keep in mind this week, folks, there are no rankings because there has not been competition since the preseason. So we will pick up again on week 2 on September 1st, so a week from Monday. So with that, we see a Johnston Dragon on that slide, Alex Woodley. And joining us here in studio, let's bring him in. Come on in, Coach. He was getting his makeup done in the back by our
Just got out of hair and makeup.
by our helping team. Kidding. We didn't have makeup for you. But
Welcome, Coach.
Yeah, great to see you guys.
Hey, first guest.
Honored to be here.
What do you think of this place? Can you give the people a description of what this really is like?
Legit. It's legit. So I think I was looking back. I think I was on. Last time I was on was your first season together.
Really?
So that was
That long ago?
6 years ago.
Oh, ours
And
together.
Yours together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from my basement, and I'm sure the audio was terrible. So this is going to be a whole new deal.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being our first guest, and we're gonna try to have an in-person guest every week, and we might ask people from a ways away to come down, not too far. That's a bad thing, but maybe more local guests. But we'll have guests on through virtual as well. But thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
So, Coach, let's talk about this upcoming season in 2025. It's probably hard for you to believe you've been coaching for some time.
This will be 23 years.
Yeah.
So
so the first question I was going to ask, and then Kyle's going to ask a couple, is what's different today than when you started in cross country? We'll focus on cross country. What's the biggest difference that you're seeing from a training standpoint? Could be from your team, anything.
Well, I think the biggest thing is this right here, is the social media. And when I started out, there were cell phones, but they weren't smartphones. And so, that the presence of that in our lives is, I think, it has positives and negatives that come with that. And I think what that's allowed us to do is to be so much more connected. And so, the training and the coaching and the knowledge of the athletes is just so much more. And so that's been a revolution. And then, there's just so much more weight on our athletes' shoulders because, they can go on whatever form it is and see things and read things that, they would have never seen, that we never thought about when we were competing. And so that's an extra piece to navigate. So those are a couple of things I've seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So we've talking a little bit outside. We know the season outlook for your team is very bright. Outside the season, maybe postseason success, NXR or NXN, all that stuff. What does that look for you guys this year?
For this year?
Yep.
Well, making it last year, that was a goal that we'd had since I think the first Nike Nationals was maybe 2005. We first went to Nike Regionals in 2007. I think there were 300 runners that year. And, I think this last year they were almost 5,000 runners for the Nike Regional. So getting out there was, something that we'd been doing. Generations of Dragons had been working towards. And so, once you've been there, you want to do it again. So that'll be part of our journey. But that'll just be one piece of the journey that we'll be looking at.
Have you done a rough outline of who your competition will be for those, or too early to tell at this
Oh
time?
boy. Yeah, I think it's way too early for that. I mean, obviously, everybody can go back and look at the results from last year and who's still here and who's not, and figure those things out. And so, but that's down the road. Yeah. If we take care of all of our training and we take care of ourselves along the way, then that'll be the fun that comes at the end. So
Icing on the cake.
icing on the cake. You
so,
got it.
So let's talk about your squad.
Mhm.
And a lot of kids back.
Yep.
And this is a program that continuously provides a lot of depth every year. So you're in a position where you maybe don't need a lot of that depth this year. But let's start up top with Alex Woodley. What can't believe she's a senior, by the way. It
Nope.
feels like I was just watching her at the middle school state.
We tried to talk to him at a red shirt year, but it didn't happen.
But let's start with Alex and the rest of that pack of girls that has been together with you since middle school. I mean, start with them and the significance of their contributions to the program.
Yeah, and I almost don't want to start naming names because we'll leave somebody off.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Alex has been an amazing leader for us ever since junior high. Absolutely, and so we have just an amazing squad, and so I think we're really. I told them this summer I feel a profound sense of responsibility to coach as hard as I can with this group because and this is true every year, right? We only get to coach this team once, and so. But I think, it's not going to surprise anyone to say that, this would seem to be a pretty special group of young women on this team. And so our goal is, to get them healthy, keep them healthy. We have 4 rules. We want to be healthy, happy, humble, and hungry for success. And, that's what we're working on every day.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about who else outside of Alex?
Well, so if we go back to our state meet team from last year, we had Peyton Crabb, who is a junior, Ellie Wharton, who is a junior as well. And then we have Jana Lamping, who is a senior, Lexi Wisham, who is a senior. And we have, boy, you guys are putting me on the spot here. What was that?
No,
and we got Grace Beasley, who was as a junior and was not a part of that squad last year. And so, ladies, I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Please forgive me. But yeah, when you have a group like that coming back, it's really about keeping them healthy and then staying out of their way and let them do what they do. And then we have some amazing freshmen coming in as well. So I mentioned Jane Lamping's the senior. Her sister Kara is coming in, and Briella Perry. Both of them had amazing success in junior high, and so. And then we've got girls that don't get much of the spotlight. Harper Serrata is a junior for us. Aubrielle Towsey, sorry about that, Brell. So yeah, it's an amazing group of women, and they are just a lot of fun. And so we're just going to keep them heading in the right direction.
I go one more, a little off script, but
Yeah.
You have the team, and obviously, you told me you have 70 girls out. That's obviously got one person can't do that themselves or manage that. So maybe talk a little about your coaches and maybe some things that you delegate to them that maybe relieve some of the stress or things off of you.
Yeah, well, this will be my 23rd year as head coach, and Chris Seward, who is our head girls track coach, and I have been together that full 23 years. So that has been an amazing partnership, and I have been blessed to have him with me this whole time. And then we've had amazing coaches along the way, Jody Buchan, Carly Fitzgerald. Right now, we have between our paid staff and our volunteer staff, I think we're going to have 11 coaches working with us this fall, which, for 15 of the 23 years, it was Chris and I. And now we've really made an effort to recruit, when we get a new teacher into the district, or if we see somebody that's, moving back that, has graduated college, we reach out to them. And so I'm really excited about that. That'll be its own organizational challenge is, trying to make sure that we got 11 coaches that all have their piece of the pie. But I told our parents we have 9 amazing young women, and we got 2 middle-aged guys coaching this team. So, mhm.
Couple more for you, and really thankful that you're here tonight with us, and the Johnston cross country brand is very powerful on the girls side, and the boys for that regard too.
Yep.
And Coach Johnston's done an incredible job with the boys program. But when you think about your brand, what over that 20 years separates Johnston and has been able to establish this distance powerhouse that you've become here?
Well, I think it's a lot of love that goes into it, and so I've never worked a day of coaching in my life. So
Mhm.
and then you couple that with just some, like I said, with Chris Seward, and then with just amazing women and young women and amazing families, and we have had amazing administrative support. Gary Ross of the IGHSAU was the athletic director for a long time when I started, and so all of those pieces I think just kind of come together, and it's been the joy along the way. And I think I'd like to hope that our athletes along the way of they've felt that joy, and it's carried with them. We're having our first alumni reunion at our home meet this Saturday that Kyle's bringing a squad to, and so we're hoping to get as many. The program started in 1995, so there's been 2 head coaches. I started in the fall of 03, and so we're hoping to get as many women back for that as possible. And yeah, it's been a fun ride.
All right, so Johnston will be a topic tonight on this opening
All right.
podcast.
Glad to be in the mix.
Yeah, that's right. So let's talk about the 4A a little
Mhm.
bit before you head out. I always believe that when you have a great program like yours, you look at Dowling on the boys' side that is always there, and the Pella girls, and now Gilbert. It seems like it raises the level
It
of
does.
everyone else. So who's on your heels this year? And I know you probably don't talk a lot to your girls about it, but when you think about your road to repeating, who are some of those roadblocks that you could see someone come up and give you a challenge?
Well, it's a great question, and you're right. I do try to make an effort to stay focused on us and our squad as much as possible, but you do want to keep an eye out on who's out there. And so I think the rankings as I saw them, the preseason rankings looked pretty spot on to me in terms of who was up there. I know Coach Wheeler over at Pleasant Valley, yes,
They won it last year.
They won it last year.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, I messed that up.
No, I didn't even notice. So they lost their 1 and 2, and I think, but those that follow the sport know that they've got some, they've got quite a good freshman class coming in, and so they're going to be right back there in it. I have no doubt about that. That Coach Wheeler is going to have her squad ready to go, and I believe Milwaukee Northwest was ranked 3rd, if I recall, and I know Coach Westerkamp is going to do an amazing job with that squad as well. So, I think it'd be fun to see what happens over there in Cedar Falls. We don't see them nearly as much. We go over for the Pleasant Valley Spartan Challenge, so we get to see the Dubuque schools. And so, Coach, actually, side note here, 2 of Coach Louis Fisher's former athletes we're hoping are going to be coaching with us this year.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and so it's been.
He's a great coach.
He's amazing guy. Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, we will hopefully get to see just about everybody before we head up to Fort Dodge in November.
Great. Well, last thing before you head out, I know you're a veteran coach, and you have a large voice in cross country, and I know you're very passionate about moving our sport forward. You shared with me in a phone call earlier just some of the feedback you've gotten from other states, and along that line, how can we keep growing the sport? Because that's our number one goal here in the podcast, is to continue to grow the sport. The spectators give it attention. Where do you see we can continue to grow cross country?
Well, this may not be the answer you're looking for. It may not be helpful, but I think it's to just keep doing this. What we're doing here, I don't know what other states are doing, but I can't imagine that they're doing this. And what I had shared with you earlier in the summer is that the one of the heads of the Minnesota Coaches Association had called me because they're going to need a new location for their state meet. I don't know if you'd heard that GRIAC has been sold by the University of Minnesota.
Really? Wow.
And so this will be the last year that the GRIAC will be hosted at Les Bolstad. And whether or not it'll continue, I think, is an open question. But they're trying to figure out where they're going to move their state meet to. And he said, you know, everybody keeps telling me, do what Iowa does. And so had some questions for me. I'm a Minnesota boy, so that's why he had reached out to me. And then also was asking, you know, what are you guys doing down there? Because Iowa, if there was a gap between Iowa and Minnesota cross country, it's closed, and we might be on the right side of that gap now. So
I remember when we were not on the right side.
Yep.
Both
Yep.
genders.
Both genders.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely. And so, you know, that was good feedback to hear. And so I think that just says that we're doing a lot of things right here in Iowa. Obviously there's tweaks that could be made. I did want to, before I go, I had three for your audience. I figure there's three main parts of your audience: athletes, coaches, and parents. And so athletes, my message to you is be patient, give yourself grace. Don't put too much importance on this first meet. All right. It's going to come. It's a long season. Stay healthy. Be there at the end. Coaches, I would say to you, we have amazing coaches here in Iowa. And so take advantage of that. Cross country coaches are the best people in the world. I know football coaches, you know, they'll lock up their playbooks in you know, a fireproof safe to keep their plays from leaking out. And I've never met a cross country coach that wouldn't give me the shirt off their back. So reach out to your fellow coaches, and then parents. If you are watching this, that means that you are fully invested in your athlete, and that means that your athlete is most likely fully invested as well. And so I guess as a parent myself, I would just say, you know, give them some room to go grow as an athlete, and sit back and watch the great things that'll come. So I wanted to put those out there. Thank you for giving me a little bit of a platform there.
Great. No, we appreciate it. And I know our listeners will too. And you've hosted a meet this Saturday, so good luck with that.
We got the Dragon Sunrise Invitational, and Coach is bringing his squad, and it's an open invitation, coaches. If you're looking for a Saturday meet, the first competition week of the year, get a hold of me, and we'd love to get you in next year. We got all sorts of room.
Great. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate having you.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
You know how to get out?
I know how to get out. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the parking lot's well lit. All right. Okay. Great interview. Always good to have Coach back on the podcast, and best of luck to the Dragons this year in Class 4A. Let's get to it, Kyle. Not a big episode for us tonight. We're going to keep this right at an hour. Next week we've got the preseason award show, which is always a favorite. But let's do some storylines.
Let's do it.
Brock is on top of it. We'll start with number one. No particular order to these, by the way. Probably could have just put bullet points on there. But number one, still have paper, if anyone wondered, and now an iPad, but a lot less paper.
Yeah.
You're not nervous anymore looking at me. I look more organized.
I think I'm organized like on a spreadsheet, and you're organized, and you remember stuff better, I guess, if you write it down, but
Yeah.
just how your brains work, right?
All right. I've got the first one. It is Lake Mills, the Bulldogs, a team storyline once again. Can they three-peat this year? Excellent last two seasons, dominant in Class 1A, and they're going to take a shot at a three-peat. They'll return Hayden Thompson and Newt Rogney, two familiar names to the podcast. But Kyle, they have got some challengers this year creeping up on their heels. And Ankeny Christian, a program I know you speak very highly of, is probably the prime suspect to start with Alex Davis, and all top four of their runners return from a team that was very strong last year. Oakland, Riverside, all five back as well. This is going to be a fascinating 1A race. On the boys' side, we won't make any predictions now, but I
No,
think this one's going to be very close.
I think this is their toughest battle yet. Even throw in Earlham there.
Yep.
You know, they only lose their 5, 7, and 8. You know, we know how hard it is to replace just one person in those smaller classes. And even Van Buren is another one. I believe Ogden moved up to 2A, if I remember right. So they're out of class 1A, but still, I think this is Lake Mills' toughest test in the last 3 years.
Yes, for sure. All right, Mr. 3A, you've got 2 and 3, and these are three-peat efforts too, I believe, right?
Oh my goodness, I should know this.
I know. I think they are. Gilbert for sure. Pella might be down to 4.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
They'll tell us. Someone in the chat maybe will tell us along the way here. So Gilbert and Pella, this is a fun one. You do a little betting here.
you could.
Okay.
I don't know if Bovada has lines for these, but
These are their points from last year, right?
yes,
State
I
meet.
believe
Okay.
so. 33 and 23, both state meet records for their I think overall, but for sure their respective classes. Gilbert loses 1 from their top 7. I believe it was their number 5 runner, or 4 or 5 runner, and bring back the other 6. And they also add in some absolute hammers on the freshman side. They bring in 3 of the top 6 returners. Obviously, 1 Nauman, 2 Dunham, 3 10 pass. They have 4, 5, 6. So it's a tough field this year. I think 2 through 11 are pretty balanced teams. I'm excited to see if they can take a run at that. State meet record. We had our parent meeting the other night, and we talk about our classes respectively, and who are we going after and things like that. And unfortunately, we kind of shared that Gilbert is a heavy favorite. Or unfortunate for us, but it's also one of those things that these types of teams don't always come around very often. So enjoy it while you have it. Same with Quentin Nauman individually and a lot of these guys, but excited to see if they can make a run and improve on their finish from last year. And same with the Pella girls. Unreal. They return the top 3 runners, 1, 2, and 3 with Dunham, Brenneman, and Farabee. And then I think they also bring back 6 of the top 12 from the overall standings. Now, some of those 12 won't be counted in the team scores. So
Right.
I think people look at the results and see, okay, they're 12th and 13th place. They're already over 25 points. So you got to factor that piece of it in. But I think 23 is very much in danger again, to see if they can get 22, 21, maybe even 20. But I see them floating right around that 22 mark.
Yeah, I think of the 2 of these, I think Pella's got a better chance than Gilbert. Nothing, Gilbert going to bring in a freshman. It's going to be in the lineup there that will, you never know. They did lose number 5, I believe. But I'm not gonna make a picking right now, but if I had to say, I'm going to go Pella easier than Gilbert, but I think both can do it.
Right. And a lot of it's Gilbert's has those 3 guys in front of them, whereas Pella, they're going to have likely the top 3 finishers or very close to. And, curious to see how these 2 would fare in 4A. Pella Johnston would be a very fun team battle if they were in the same class. And Gilbert again with Cedar Falls, City High, and a lot of those schools. It'd be. I hope we get to see that this year. I know we'll talk about the Prairie meet in a couple weeks, where we will get to see Pella going to face some of these schools, but we'll see.
Yeah, and some of those chat comments. Gilbert's going for a 3-peat. We're awaiting Pella. Absolutely, I agree. Gilbert could compete for a 4A title as well as Pella, and I agree with the comments there by Kyle. Let's go to number 4, and that is Johnston. Fitting, we just had their coach here. Johnston or the field in 4A. They're the favorite without question. I think Pleasant Valley has some question marks there with Wiedemeyer and Bullen out of high school. They're going to rely on a really good freshman though in Fode. And she was the middle school state champion at the Washburn meet by a large margin. She'll fill one of those shoes, I think, but they still need to replace two. They're the defending champions. And then, as Coach said, I think Waukee Northwest of the three might have the best depth. Just, I mean, I've seen it in person. They have
Right.
legit depth. Do they have the front runners that those two have? I'm not sure yet. And those two also have state championship pedigree with Johnston and PV Northwest in cross country, new to the scene. Ninth last year, I believe, 8th or 9th. So that's another hurdle for them that I still think they're a solid 3 right now. And I agree with Coach. I think Cedar Falls is the dark horse here with Charlie Gall. Tom Lanovich had a great track season. They've got youth in that program. And they're going to have a really good track and field team coming up this spring. But those 4, I said on the preseason show last year, the way too early rankings, I thought it was those 3 and then a long gap. I'd throw Cedar Falls in there. City High has a chance to be pretty good too. But I think Johnston.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm not making a
yes,
pick, but
exactly. On paper, heavy favorites, but that's why we run the races. A lot can happen. And like Coach said, those 4 H's are very important pieces to the team's success. So
we got a lock in already from Christine Megason. She's a listener. I got a chance to run into her at a track meet. Her son's a terrific runner for Dallas Center Grimes. But thank you. We're not making any locks tonight, but I think next week it's fair game on the preseason show, right?
I think you made some last November.
Yeah,
so.
I did. I might have. Number 5 here. Hey, this is going to be fun. We had a blast in 2A last year with the boys. And Olwine and Mid Prairie surged to the front. Unity Christian was 3rd. Very senior heavy teams there. So we've got, not counting Olwine out because it's a tradition-rich program, but a lot of seniors exit there. New teams in the mix. Sheraton, is it their time? They've been making this climb, and you've been following it for 3 years now. 12th, 12th to 15th, and they were like 6th to 10th. And then last year, I think they might have been 4th or 5th. Can they make the jump? You've got Forest City in the mix, and Coach DJ Wolfram's doing a great job there. Coach Horton's done a great job at Sheraton, and then Denver. Denver might be the one with Jesse Gomez and Miles Mathis. What do you think here in 2A? It's going to be fascinating.
I just love how balanced it is. That's the, I guess, the classes I enjoy more when there isn't a lock necessarily at the beginning of the season. I'll get to see Sheraton on Saturday.
Oh,
very excited. Yeah, it's them. Earlham is number 4 in 1A there, which I guess I'll stop. We're going to preview that one in a little bit, but and then I got to meet Forest City's team. We camped with them at the Bridges 23 camp in Norwalk just a couple weeks ago. And they got 17 boys, 17 girls out, I believe, just good roster size for Class 2A. And they work hard, well coached. It's a good group. So all 3 are definitely in the mix. And we'll find out next week who our picks are.
Yes, you won't want to miss that preseason award show. Okay, individual storylines. And we just like we started with the track recap. If you didn't get a chance to see that, let's start here with Quentin Nauman. And then we'll throw Marissa Farabee in because of the cross country season she had last year. Historic state meet record performance for Farabee. She went on to be an All-American, if I recall, at the national meet. Obviously, Nauman coming off a track. Is that where your eyes are when we start this individual discussion?
Right. And, Nauman obviously set the world on fire with his track season. And again, enjoy this while we have it. This is 2 outstanding recruits, but just outstanding people.
Arkansas and Oregon.
Correct. That doesn't happen very often. And, Nauman, he's on fire in the chat. He's always watching our episodes. He already has said he's got his ticket for the Track Guy premiere. He was over at the Belmont Mile and paced one of the sections of the mile like days after his Hoka run. So just, wanted to help kids out. So just, they're good people. We've had Marissa on the podcast. She was very well spoken, great people. So, but just enjoy them while they are here. And they're going to put on some shows the next couple weeks.
Absolutely. And they're the face of cross country right now in both genders. I mean, for those that don't know, track and cross country, the Arkansas and Oregon are your blue bloods of cross country and track and field. So that's the, similar in the football of going to Alabama, going to Georgia, uh, basketball, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina. That's the equivalent, and we have them right here in our state. It's really pretty neat. So, okay, I know we talked a lot in track, in the recap that we just did about how talented this state is, especially on the boys' side. Not that the girls isn't there, but is there going to be a better state meet for the boys ever than this year when you look at the depth of all 4 classes?
And it was perfect weather down there, right? If I remember right, just, you couldn't have asked for a better 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as in tune with like Coach Hennis, outside states, but what we are doing. But to speak to what the talent has done in our state the last 10, 15 years and even longer than that, but just, there has to, we have Quentin Nauman now. Before Quentin, you had to have Jackson Heidish. Before him, you had to have Nate Mueller and things like that. And just great competition. These kids just keep setting the bar, and then someone else just comes along and says, okay, if they can do that, I can do it too. So we're so fortunate to have this. We have great things to talk about every week and cover and watch. So it's for sure got to be up there in the conversation with the depth of our state, and especially population. If you factor that in, those other states that have way more population, I'd say we hold our own pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 3, who's the next Iowa standout girl? Now, we have several standouts already, and this isn't, Farabee is back for another year. We're not looking for someone, and this is, what was your question when we were doing this? Like, is it a freshman?
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is who is going to, the ones that make the huge out of nowhere jumps, like a Quentin Nauman, Marissa Farabee. They made this dramatic jump in a year. We talked on the track, like a Nathan Miller from CPU went from, good to phenomenally, historically good.
Right.
So we think about that. Who are some of those girls? Because this state has been so rich in girls runners and going to Oklahoma States of the world and Kansas States now and all over Arkansas. So I thought of a few, and not saying it will happen, but a couple that came to my mind. I'm struggling, Kyle. Can't find my notes here. Oh boy, here it is. Okay, it's on my iPad. Don't you believe it? But first one to come to my mind, Piper Metzgerly. You look at the season she had last year, coming out of nowhere really to winning that 4A girls title. I mean, she was in the mix when we talked in the preseason and throughout the season, but she had been beaten throughout the year by other people. Came through on the big stage to win, then had a great track season. 15 3K, had a great 800 carry in the 4x8. So, she's kind of got that mold, in my opinion. Special athlete too. Special athlete. Lily Denton, talked about her on the track recap. Obviously, she's already won state titles, same as Meserly. But we're looking at that great to, historic. And she comes off as one. Charlie Gall, Cedar Falls, 1500 state champ for the Tigers, broke 4:30, really fast time. The young lady, I don't want to pull a lot of pressure from Pleasant Valley. It's hard to make a huge jump as a freshman, but she's definitely someone in Sarah Fode that you have to keep your eye on. Alex Woodley, veteran runner. She's seen it, everything. It seems like now, great track athlete, great cross-country runner. Can she take that step? And then Brenneman from Pella. She's got the training partner.
Right.
And she burst onto the scene last year. So those are some names that I thought of.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
And it speaks again to the depth of who's going to be that next breakout star. I have some names in mind, but I think I'll save them for the awards show next week.
That's a good idea. What do we got? Oh, freshman.
Which
This is also
freshman?
one for next week, so we can kind of fly through this one.
Yep. I of course lost my note sheet. I had it typed and I can't find it. But you talked about FOAD. Fedler of
Oh, my
Mount
goodness.
Pleasant was actually either 2 seconds ahead or 2 seconds behind. Different races.
Well, let me say this. She anchored the distance medley middle school Drake relays in 2:11
Jeez.
from Mount Pleasant. I've seen her run in person. It is if you haven't seen this young lady run, you need to watch her run.
Yep. I'm gonna pull up the Monticello girl too. I cannot think of her name off the top of my head right now. I have it right here. She ran a good race too.
And then the Des Moines Christian boy.
Luke McCormick,
Yep,
I think
and
is what it is.
And Steve Emmer out of Gilbert. Those two guys really were really fast at the state middle school meet.
Mary Grace Lyons of
Mary Grace
Monticello.
Lyons of Monticello.
And then there's another Gall on the boys' side. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if he's 7th or 8th. He's in the 8th grade results. I don't know if you can bump up, but there's another Gall for Cedar Falls on the boys' side.
Yep. And last year's second place finisher in the 4A meet at Washburn, Laney Sundit of Northwest, Waukee Northwest, a very talented freshman as well. This is a very good class. That state middle school meet was one of the best ones I've been to, just from a competitive standpoint, from 1A to 4A. And I think we're going to see a lot of that show up this fall. Number 5, 1A.
1A individual crown.
Individual crown, a lot of graduation.
Yes, we made this graphic a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah.
then we got our things in order, and we were like, wait, wait a minute, we're already talking about Lake Mills. 1A individually.
Yep.
Top 4 all graduate. This thing's wide open.
Wide open.
And it starts though with Lake Mills, Hayden Thompson, and potentially even his teammate Newt Rogney. They are the top returners. Or Hayden's the top 5 or cross country returner. I think they went 4-5 at the 3200 at the state track meet. So they are both back. 2 of the top returners. Anthony Vallis of St. Edmunds, also right in the mix. Who was my other guy? Ben Byers,
Yeah,
Sibley
Ben Byers. He's been around for a while, it seems like.
Yep. 2 more 2 guys who had
Max Handorf out of.
You're stealing my thunder here.
Oh, I thought you were asking me. Oh, I thought you said. Tell me.
Jeez. All right,
sorry.
let it go for it.
No, I
Don't take
want
my
to.
last one.
No, I won't. I'm done.
No, tell us about Max. He had a good track season.
He did, and he really had a nice finish to cross country as well. I feel like he's got a lot of momentum right now. And I'm sorry, I'm done.
Okay,
I thought you didn't have it in front of
Oh
you.
no, I do. I just have to look
Just
over
getting
here.
so excited about 1A boys.
You're just
crown.
I know you're usually not the 1A guy, but then you always.
Last 2 years I have been.
Yeah, no, you're pulling stuff out. My last one's Hugh Conway of Southwind. Both these last 2 guys are freshmen. Just had outstanding track seasons. I think ran 4:24 in the mile. And Hugh obviously will be a sophomore for Southwind. So it's wide open for the taking with those 4 standout guys graduating.
Great. Well, those are our individual storylines, team storylines. We're going to wrap it up here shortly, but before we do that, Kyle, you had some ranking surprises that you wanted to go through real quick, and then we'll take a look at a few meets this week and hang it up. And we just are. Well, first off, how about the weather for this upcoming week? Low 70s for the whole week.
Good.
Incredible. So, ranking surprises.
Yeah, we'll definitely take the weather. A lot of the ranking surprises, I guess, there was a lot of movement in the classifications. We talked about Burlington going down to 3A and some things like that. But ranking surprises, I guess we'll start on the girls' side in Class 1A, I believe is who I did. They got the Sioux Central girls at 5. I had them about 15. And then they had the Linville Sully girls at 8, and I didn't have them. I think that one's an error on my part. I probably should have them higher, but those are 2 on the 1A girls side. On the 2A girls side, they had Albia at 12, and you have them at 2.
Yeah.
Big on Albia.
I'm big on Albia. They're
Yep.
going to come out. They've been lurking in the weeds for a few years.
Yep.
And boy, it's blanking me what her name.
McKenna Montgomery,
She had
right?
an excellent track and field season.
Yep.
So I like Albia.
Yep. The other one's Monticello. Now I know it's hard to factor in 8th graders. Obviously, they bring in a very talented freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Not ranked on the girls' side. I think you had 2A. You had them about 8, and then Denver, they're up at 8, and you had about 15 on the girls' side.
Yeah.
Yep. 2A boys, Spirit Lake.
Hey, before we get to the larger schools,
Yep.
1A, we've got a sneaky 2A to 1A drop down on the boys' side. A non-ranked East Sac team.
All right.
Barely missed on qualifying out of Unity Christian. Very tough region last year. They were 4th there. They had 2 individual qualifiers and a 3rd guy that just missed. And rumors are they're ready to come down to 1A.
Right.
And they're not ranked. So watch out for East Sac.
They might be part of the first Monday move. I think they race at Gowrie.
They're at Gowrie.
Which we'll
Yep.
preview a little bit. So let's see.
2A boys.
2A boys, Spirit Lake at 6. You had them about 15.
I don't know.
Hey.
We'll see.
3A girls. I had Des Moines Christian at 2, and they are ranked 12 currently. The biggest one. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm most upset about, and I get it. You don't factor in freshmen as much.
You know this though. Don't mess with the 3A ranking people. They're pretty good.
They are,
and they know what they're doing.
They are,
boys and girls. So they maybe know something we don't. But we had
Boone,
the Toreadors. Get us the Boone uniform.
Ooh. Can we get a Boone jersey by Friday? So we have it for Sunday.
Should I put my house address on here? Probably not.
Ship it to the school.
What do you think, Brock? Probably shouldn't do that on the World Wide Web. He says no.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to think of a new address to put out there. We have an address here, but I don't know where it goes. I don't know if we want that either. We might have some people come and raid this while we're recording.
How about if you're interested, email us and we will coordinate.
Hey, Brock, can you put my email on there on the screen? bdewey@Waukee Schools. It doesn't need to be immediately, but shoot us an email and we'll figure out a way to get your uniform. Might have to drive to your school. Okay, anyways, Kyle, 3A boys, no Clear Lake, huh?
Yeah, that one surprised me a little bit.
I did too. They've been very solid.
They were 4th at their qualifier last year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they maybe deserved to be in that top 20. Now, 3A is very, very balanced, I would say. So they might have been just outside those rankings. One that maybe I don't want to say I'm surprised because they're very deep. Obviously, they bring in McCormick as Des Moines Christian. I didn't have them quite as high as 5, but year after year after year, they prove themselves. So I shouldn't be surprised by that one at all. Decorah a little bit and DeWitt were a little bit higher than I had on my list.
Mm-hmm.
4A girls, this one, I think.
My big bold prediction from November. Just let it simmer for a while.
Leave it?
Yeah, just leave it. Dowling is at 14. I had him at 8.
Yep.
So we'll see.
I'm kind of with you. I think there'll be more in that middle of the class in 4A than closer to the middle than the bottom. Hempstead and Valley at 9 and 10. You had neither of those in your top 15.
Yeah, and the other one, I'm not sure where they had Senior at, but I think Senior is going to be sneaky good this year.
They're just one of those programs.
They lost a couple, but
yep, they've just built a really, really good program like Hempstead in the same town. Boys side in Class 4A, Northwest at 3. You have at 8, and then the other one is Linmar, not ranked, and you have at 13. So you're a little bit higher on Linmar than the IATC or the rankings committee. Last one, I typed this on my phone. I probably will.
Wettendorf.
Jeez. You have the IATC at 7 and you have at 15, I believe, unless I have it backwards.
Maybe they know something.
Big on Bettendorf. AJ Wiley for them.
AJ Wiley.
I believe that's his name.
Is he back again?
Big track season for him.
Yeah,
he'll be a
good.
senior.
Good.
So nothing too crazy. A lot of them, not saying they were very close to what we had, but I know the work it goes to put in.
Yes.
For those, especially from end of cross country to the start of the next year. So
they do a great job.
They do. So I'm not saying anyone's wrong by any means, but just differences that we had.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left. So First week of the season, weather looks great. Let's go 3 or 4 meets that we're both looking
I
forward
think
to.
you got to do Prairie.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Cedar Rapids Prairie on Saturday. This is always one of those first, I don't know what's the right word, kind of like a test.
Yep.
First test of the season. You've got Linmar, City High boys. I'm excited to see what they can put together. They're going to go with a 1-2 matchup with Cedar Falls
Yep.
right off the bat. Prairie's in there at 5. This is just a meet with a lot of firepower. You go down to 3A with Pella. You've got Clear Creek Amana, a team that's always strong in that boys race. And, of course, Epworth West Dubuque with Quentin Nauman and Jaden Merrick going at it head-to-head there. This is going to be a really good one, and one for a long time is so hot and muggy and miserable. It's going to be nice. So I think we're going to see some nice performances. Then on the girls' side there, not as strong from a 1-2 top standpoint, but we're going to see that Cedar Falls team on the girls' side that we've been anticipating to see against City High. Those are probably the 2 of the top 3 Eastern Iowa schools thrown in with Pleasant Valley. So that'll be fun to see them for the first time. And then a team in 3A, and I'm not overlooking Pella. They're at the meet. But Fort Madison, a
Mhm.
team we talked about before we came on the show, actually, that I think they're another one of those teams like Albia, who's been around, kind of sniffing it. They could make a big jump this year. So they're going to have their first meet there. Let's go to Anamosa.
Yeah, that's going to be a really, really good meet. Anamosa, too. You start with Cedar Rapids Kennedy, obviously ranked pretty high in Class 4A at number 14. They'll probably steal the title there. But Solon, who's always very competitive. Washington boys ranked number 7 in Class 3A. Anamosa, number 9 in 2A. Springville, number 9 in 1A.
A lot of ranked schools.
We'll see Solon's new freshman, the kid that ran sub 2. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Yes.
Hopefully he's in
yes.
cross. I
That's-
don't know that.
That's
But
right. Good call.
So very, very cool there. On the girls' side, you get Makokata and Izzy Harden. She'll get to open her season against Solon, who's ranked number 4. Washington ranked number 20.
Sumner
and
Fred.
Anamosa and the Sumner Fred with the move back down to 1A
Yep.
from 2A. So that'll be a very, very good meet. I think that one's next Thursday, if I remember right.
Is it or is it Saturday meet?
I thought it was Thursday.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them haven't happened the last couple of years
Right.
because of weather. All right, Johnston. It's going to be a good race over there. On the girls' side, you've got number 1 Johnston. I don't think they'll see much competition in this one from a team standpoint, but you've got Earlham at number 4 in 1A. Be good. I love seeing those small schools get out there and compete with the likes of Johnston. Winterset, Class 3A, number 5. A lot of talent in that squad. An early test for Winterset to kind of see where they're at. I'm excited to see that. ADM Adel, not ranked. See what they put together this year. Des Moines Christian is there as well. On the boys' side, you've got Johnston, the host, up against some good competition here. You've got Des Moines Christian, 3A, number 5. We'll see 10 pass in action, we think. Might not race, but, we'll see if they race him early on. Adel, 3A, number 8. Bondurant Farrar, 3A, number 10. So you've got 3 top 10 3A teams going up against Johnston. You've got Sheraton at number 1 in Class 2A. This is going to be an exciting race with them. Ogden, just outside the rankings. Earlham in 1A. This is a really good boys field with some strong 4A, really good 3A, 2A, 1A. Nice meet.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate Coach Hennis, I guess, letting us in, but invites open. So future years, I think that's gonna be a meet that continues to
The
grow.
Sunrise. Do they serve breakfast?
We didn't get any last year.
Okay.
But maybe they did. I had foot surgery last year, so
Oh,
I was on
okay.
that scooter. I
You
didn't
were
get very
miserable.
far. I threw I got the scooter does not work very well in wet grass. Not fun. So
Well, that'll be fun to see that one. Centennial has a meet with some smaller CIML school or a smaller lineup of CIML schools. And then Gowrie, our
Yep.
last one. What do you like there?
Yeah, you mentioned East Sac. I think the tease maybe to see what they are bringing.
see.
Prove maybe that they do deserve to be ranked.
We might look really smart next Sunday or no.
True. You never know. You got Panorama on the girls' side, ranked number 9, going up against 1A, number 1 Madrid, along with St. Edmunds. So a pretty good balanced 1A meet there on the girls' side. And on the boys' side, you got number 7 ACGC and number 12 St. Edmund. Obviously, Madrid is always solid on the boys' side too. So great 1A battles there to start the season.
Sure is. So, want your school's uniform on display during the show? There's the email right there. And I got to figure out how we're going to get this figured out because I think I can give them this address, but we'll see. Yeah. Not that I'm worried about our listeners. It's just the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
So, do we have any graphics left? Nope. Okay. I think that might be it. Hey, everyone, there it is again. Subscribe, follow. We're so excited to be back and be in, your weekly routine, hopefully, for the next 12 weeks. We've got a lot of big things coming for the show. We literally put this together in like the last 2 weeks. We've got cords flying everywhere. We got to get the place cleaned up. We're going to have some great guests. I should thank my wife, Ashton, for helping design the place with me as well. But this is going to be a great space, and it's going to take this podcast to hopefully the next level.
That's right. Thank you for all your work in the summer getting this set up. This is truly unreal. I never would have imagined this. So
it's big time. It's got a big time feel, as Coach said.
Vote in the X poll.
Oh yeah, real quickly on the X poll.
We'll find out 7, 7:30, or 8.
7, 7:30, or 8. Ooh, 7.
Running away.
Well, kids don't have X anymore, or they don't like it because we only have 28 votes on an account that has almost 6,000 followers. It's not very good.
A question: what is the TikTok username? I can't find it. Do you know what that is off the top of your head?
That's a good question. We'll get that to you. That's a good question. We started it a couple years ago. That I don't know. Try IATFCC. See if that works. All right, everyone. Enjoy the first week. Back to school tomorrow morning for everyone pretty much around the state.
Yep.
Enjoy it. Cross country is here. The weather's great. And we cannot wait to get back here next Sunday and recap a great first week of meets. Emails, bdewey@walkieschools.org.
WagnerK@bfschools.org.
Send us information from meets that you go out to so we can keep up with this podcast. Have a great week. See you next week.